world's premier website, JimFeist.net, presents America's longest-running pregame show, direct from Las Vegas, Proline, featuring Bob Donahue, whose personal service college football releases have been on a tear, and today is releasing his college game of the year. And Scott Spritzer, who swept his TKOs in main events, nailed his KO game of the month, and is releasing his college pancake game of the year today. And Dave Koken, whose Proline contest play swept again, as did Dave's Pro Game of the Month with the Steelers, and his College Game of the Month wins today. And World Champion Handicapper Jim Feist, who bounced back last Sunday to get a big win with the Rams, and is featuring an Underdog weekend, including his Pro Underdog Game of the Year, completely free of charge. And now here's your host, longtime national sports analyst and commentator, Al Bernstein.
Well, good Saturday morning, everybody. Welcome back to another week here on Proline, the nation's longest-running handicapping show. I'm Al Bernstein, and we've got 4 big football games to talk about that our panel will let you know about. But let's look back on that great game on Monday night. Well, I've heard it was a great game because even though I'm a Bears fan and I'm from Chicago and it got to be 23-3, I turned the game off. And what's worse, I fell asleep on the highlights later, so I don't really know what happened.
Chicago won.
No.
Do you know how you can tell?
Who knew?
You watch ESPN and you see the reaction by Denny Green. Oh. What a blow-up he got.
But you know what's funny is we see this every year. There's certain franchises that don't know how to win. And Arizona's one of those franchises. They just don't know how to close the show. And if you saw toward the end of that game, they had that look on their faces. Yeah. We're gonna blow the game.
It reminded me of Marty Ball.
Marty, they just needed one more edger in James Carey. I know that would have done the trick. I mean, they were getting a little over 1 yard per pop. He could have got 4 or 5 yards.
It was that 37th carry.
That's right. That would have put him over the top. So I think the offensive coordinator for the Cardinals turned the game off, too, on Monday night.
Yeah, I think so.
He turned his job off the next day.
Exactly.
There's some disappointing teams in the NFL. I mean, Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins are one. I mean, this was a team that, coming into the season had all kinds of optimism. Heck, to me, the Washington Redskins, this is a team that made the playoffs last year. Brunell, what is he, 107 years old now, and that team has gotten old overnight, as has, I think, Joe Gibbs. I mean, last year, everyone said that he caught up to the NFL. Now it's passed him by again. That's a quick train.
Well, I think what happened was the NFL was taking a NASCAR pit stop last year. And this team moved ahead briefly. They've gone back. No, their problem is Daniel Snyder because he just wants to go after name after name after name. But, we talk about the bad franchises like Arizona, the good franchises, the ones that had that tradition and know how to win games. Big game comes up, Pittsburgh Steelers come through, New England Patriots come through, that type of thing. And it's not the salary cap or anything like that. It's good organizations versus bad organizations, and that stuff never seems to change.
Yeah, it's almost the mindset of these teams that this team expects to win as opposed to a team that's looking to lose.
All right, so a lot of good, a lot of bad. We're going to talk about all of it. Later on in the show, we'll hear from both Primetime's Glenn McGrew and longtime pro Joe Phillips. They're the good. We'll be right back with our first game of the day as UCLA takes on Notre Dame. Don't go away.
The Proline free pick phone is available for winners daily. Just a toll-free call to 1-888-294-1970 for winning picks from world champion handicapper Jim Feist, Smokin' Dave Koken, Smash Mouth capper Scott Spritzer, and Bob Donahue. Red-hot winners that are absolutely free on a recorded message when you call toll-free to 1-888-294-1970. Call today, call tomorrow, win all week long. Write the number down and make the call to 1-888-294-1970.
It's an Underdog weekend, and today I'm making an offer you can't pass up. Call toll-free right now, 1-888-260-8339, and get one of my high-end personal service releases completely free on a recorded message. Plus, when you call, you'll also receive instructions on how to get today's College Dog of the Month and my Pro Underdog Game of the Year. That's 3 huge releases, including a Game of the Year release worth $50 on JimFeist.net, but available for free today. Call 1-888-260-8339.
Hi, I'm Dave Koken, and how about those Steelers? They crushed the Chiefs last week as my Pro Game of the Month, and today I'm releasing my College Game of the Month, plus a pair of underdogs that I guarantee will win outright. That's 3 major service selections for only $25 at JimFeist.net or at 1-900-656-1050. Get set to watch the winners roll in with this guaranteed 3-0 sweep.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, first up, the Bruins of UCLA travel to face Charlie Weiss and the Fighting Irish, and we'll get to that game in just a moment. But first, we'll turn our attention to Bob Donahue, who has dominated the college football season with his personal service releases, hitting over 61%. And today, it's the big one, Bob. It's your college game of the year.
That's right, Al. We've had a tremendous season. I've been red hot in college football for 7 straight weeks, and today, I'm ready to release my biggest play of them all. It's my college game of the year. Hey, this one is available right now for just $19 at jimfeist.net, or give me a call at 1-900-776-3030. I'm excited about this play, and you should be too. It's completely guaranteed to win, or the next 4 weeks of my advantage plays are free. It's my college game of the year. Make the call to 1-900-776-3030 and get ready for a monster day.
It's an awesome offer, that's for sure. Well, you know, now Notre Dame has a week off, and they welcome the UCLA Bruins to South Bend today, and it's a Bruins team that is still smarting from a loss to Oregon. And UCLA has a few problems on the defensive side of the football. That's not so good, is it?
Problems on the offensive side, too, because they've, had to go to Cowan as the quarterback with Olsen out. I thought Cowan actually played well in the second half of the Oregon game, but they were behind quite a bit in that game. It's a tough contest, but I think you're going to see the ball in the air a lot in this football game. And to me, the play is the over.
Yeah, I like the total, but I got to go with the Irish here. And one of the problems this week was that Cowan's signal is going to be like this. He lost his voice. And now they're trying to figure out if he's going to play, they're going to have to come up with some kind of a signal to snap the ball. So there's way too many intangibles right now happening against UCLA. But you look at what they did. People think Pac-10, they think shootout. Their games so far this season with their opponents are averaging 41 points per game. If they had this defense last year, they would have made some noise. But they've done it against Washington, Stanford, Utah, Arizona. Not exactly murderer's row of offensive units. I think they get whacked in this game this week.
It was he got punched right on a quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
And one thing about Charlie Weiss is you do not go against him after bye. We saw it last year, the best game of the year against USC, and then this year, of course, Penn State. So I think you have to go with the over here.
Well, I'd like the over also, but as a favorite, Notre Dame has been terrible, covered 1 out of the last 10 times. So you have to consider that.
All right, that's an intriguing point. Next, we're going to go out to the Las Vegas Strip and hear from Glenn McGrew, who's coming off an AFC Game of the Month win with the Chargers last Sunday, and he weighs in on this game. Glenn?
Thank you, Al. Hey, listen, the Irish defense, while improved over last year's edition, can be hurt, but not by an offense led by an inexperienced quarterback like Patrick Cowan. Last week, the Bruins ended up with just 216 yards at Eugene, their longest pass play going for just 14 yards. I simply can't see the visitor matching points with the Irish in this contest. And you won't find an offer that can match my free Proline package this week. Give me a call right now. You're going to receive 3 key college football releases from today's excellent card, highlighted by my Playbook Game of the Month. And making this offer even sweeter, you're going to receive details on how to get today's 2 Conference Game of the Year releases, also for free. A quintet of college football winners on the house right now at 1-888-652-7668. Now, back to you, Al.
All right, thanks, Glenn. Next up, Boston College and Florida State in a game going on later today. Stay where you are.
The college football season may be half over, but my personal service selections haven't slowed down at all. I've won over 61% of my releases this year, including 2 more no-limit winners last Saturday, and today I'm releasing my college football game of the year. Hey, that's my biggest game of the season, available right now for just $19 at jimfeist.net or when you call 1-900-776-3030. Don't miss out on this guaranteed winner. It's my college game of the year. Make the call to 1-900-776-3030 or visit jimfeist.net.
63-31, 68-37, 51-24, and 45-7. Those were the winning scores of our biggest plays last weekend. Today I'm releasing my biggest play so far this season, my college pancake game of the year. We're 5-1, 83% with pancakes, and the biggest of them all goes today. Get the pancake of the year plus a code that gets my Pro Dog Pound game of the year free. Call 1-900-438-8385. Only $25. That's 1-900-438-8385. Or go to jimfeist.net.
Are you ready for my biggest Proline package to date? Then give me a call right now. You're going to receive 3 prime college football releases highlighted by my Playbook Game of the Month. And it's all free. And making this offer even more special, you'll receive details on how to get today's 2 Conference Game of the Year releases, also for free. That's 5 huge college football winners all in the house right now at 1-888-652-7668. Or simply go to jimfeist.net.
Welcome back. Well, an ACC battle is up next as the Eagles and Florida State square off, and we'll get to that game in just a minute. But first, we'll turn our attention to Dave Koken, who's been on a tear with his Proline contest plays. They're perfect the last 2 weeks, and Dave was also perfect with his pro football game of the month last Sunday as the Steelers just obliterated the Chiefs. And Dave, today it's your college game of the month and some more.
I've had probably the two easiest game of the month winners in the space of about a 3-day period. I had my pro football game of the month on Sunday with the Steelers, and my NHL game of the month on Tuesday was Buffalo, and they won 9-1 against the Flyers. So, we're getting some wins by some large margins right now, and I do have my college game of the month going today, and I've also got included in this package, there's two selections that I have in college football where I'm taking the underdog, and they will not need any points. They're going to win those games outright, and in fact, that's a guarantee. So this is 3 really big plays for just $25. And you can get them right now at 1-900-656-1050, or just visit jimfeist.net. I am very confident of going 3-0 with this slate.
Confidence is a good thing with you guys. Well, you don't often see the Florida State Seminoles with 2 losses, with 6 games still left on their schedule. And today's game is a toughie. Boston College just 2 points away from being undefeated, and they come in off a big win over Virginia Tech, but they have a few issues, don't they?
Well, Florida State's looked real good against Duke and Rice, but this isn't Duke and Rice. The Eagles of Boston College are well prepared under Tom O'Brien. This is going to be Boston College is going to come in there and play very hard. The question about the game is their quarterback. You know, we talked about a game a little while ago about a quarterback being hurt. Ryan is also questionable for the game, so if he's healthy, I like Boston College.
You know how far Florida State has dropped? After the game, Drew Weatherford said this was a statement game for Florida State against my beloved Blue Devils. Now, when was the last time they even got off the plane for that? I think they're in trouble here. I think man for man, injuries on the Florida State side. I think Boston College is still underrated. I think they get the win here.
I think he got an underplay here also, but I do think the point spread is a little bit too high. And the best thing about what you get to do is you watch the show, then you've got a few hours to go to jimfeist.net and check out the updated injuries and see if Ryan is going to be healthy or not, or tune in to ESPN and see if Ryan's going to be healthy for this game. If he is, I think they battle him toe-to-toe, face-to-face throughout the entire 4 quarters. The one thing that bothers me a little bit right now about Florida State, and the reason I'm a little bit squeamish with the under, is they're really banged up in the linebacking core right now. And if BC's healthy, they'll beat this team outright, I think.
Interesting. Well, see how that one plays itself out. Now we're going to go to the Las Vegas Strip with the legend Joe Phillips. Joe was perfect again as his triple-rated and action plays went a perfect 9-0 last week. Joe, you're on fire.
Thanks, Al. And how about my 1,000-star blowout on Hawaii? Call my toll-free recording right now, 1-800-664-8920. Get another 1,000-star game of the year. Plus, Rutgers, Pittsburgh, UCLA, Notre Dame, and Texas, Nebraska. Guaranteed to go 4-0, absolutely free. Call 1-800-664-8920. I'm red hot. 9-0 last week, and today is the biggest day of the year. 1,000-star conference blowout, plus 3 huge TV winners, all on my toll-free recording. Call 1-800-664-8920. Now, in the ACC, I like BC Florida State under the total. A small play. But the big play like Hawaii last week is my 1,000-star game of the year by 5 touchdowns, plus 3-0 TV action. Go 4-0 free, or the season is free. Call 1-800-664-8920. Back to you, Al.
Thanks, Joe. Next up, after a break, we'll turn to tomorrow's games as the Patriots take on the Bills. Don't go anywhere.
It's an underdog weekend, and today I'm making an offer you can't pass up. Call toll-free right now, 1-888-260-8339, and get one of my high-end personal service releases completely free on a recorded message. Plus, when you call, you'll also receive instructions on how to get today's College Dog of the Month and my Pro Underdog Game of the Year. That's 3 huge releases, including a Game of the Year release worth $50 on jimfeist.net, but available for free today. Call 1-888-260-8339.
Hi, I'm Dave Koken. How about those Steelers? They crushed the Chiefs last week as my pro game of the month. And today, I'm releasing my college game of the month. Plus, a pair of underdogs that I guarantee will win outright. That's 3 major service selections for only $25 at jimfeist.net or at 1-900-656-1050. Get set to watch the winners roll in with this guaranteed 3-0 sweep.
Last week, Joe Phillips did it again. His triple rated and action plays went 9-0, and Hawaii won by 31.
Call my toll-free pick phone for my 1,000-star conference blowout of the year. Plus 3 huge TV winners free. Call 1-800-664-8920. Last week I went 9-0, and today is the biggest day of the year. 1,000-star blowout plus 3-0 TV action. You go 4-0 free. Guaranteed on the season is free. Call Joe Phillips toll-free pick phone 1-800-664-8920.
Welcome back to Proline, everybody. An AFC East divisional matchup is next as the Patriots travel to Buffalo, and we'll get our panel's take on that game in just a minute. But first, let's go to Smash Mouth handicapper Scott Spritzer. Now, he said he would bounce back in a big way, and he did it. Scott swept his TKOs, going 3-0. He won another college pancake with Nebraska, and he won both main events and hit his KO game of the month with Hawaii. I love all these boxing references. Today, Scott, it's your college pancake game of the year.
Yeah, we got those knockout gloves on again this week, Al. You know, last week we won so much they renamed the winner's circle the Smash Mouth Circle. It was as simple as that: 68-37, 63-31, 45-7, 51-24. I mean, one score after another came in, and anywhere from 4 to 5 touchdown winners across the board with our big plays, including the nice Nebraska win over K-State, which was a pancake game of the week. Those plays are now 5-1, 83% against the spread. The biggest of them all goes today. It's my college football pancake game of the year, and it's available right now for just $25 at 1-900-438-8385. Also a code on that report that'll get you my Pro Dog Pound game of the year on Sunday at no additional cost. 1-900-438-8385, just $25, or go to jimfeist.net.
All right, big bounce back for Scott. Well, the question is, does Bill Belichick really need 2 weeks to prepare for the only team to lose to the Detroit Lions? Well, he got it, and his recharged New England Patriots are going to roll into Buffalo to take on the Bills this week.
I don't know if they'll roll out of Buffalo. This could be an interesting game because the Bills, I think the Bills actually match up pretty well with the Patriots, and still, it doesn't matter what the sport is. When two teams compete, it's about matchups. These teams met earlier this year, and Buffalo outplayed New England in that football game. I think the Patriots have improved since then, but I don't think it's like the Bills have suddenly regressed. They're about the same team they were. Giron's doing a typical Giron job. For the most part, they're in games. New England wins, but Buffalo makes it really close here, guys.
This is the first, as you mentioned, they played before. This is the first revenge game of the year in the NFL. And usually you want to be on the revenge dog, especially if they're an underdog at home. Great spot for Buffalo, but this is not a very good Buffalo team, and their defense against the run is terrible. One thing the Patriots can do is run the football. They got Maroney and Dillon. I mean, they can dominate you on the ground. I don't like the wide receivers for the Patriots, so it's really scary to be laying points on the road with them. I like the under.
That's an excellent point about the wide receivers. I think we've seen that they really have not been, as we like to say, that the Patriots bring in guys for chemistry, and we haven't seen that in the season so far. But I think that bye week is really going to help them here. I think New England rolls in this contest. I really don't like what Giron has done. He didn't bounce back after that Bears game last week against the Lions. I think the Bills are on borrowed time here.
One quick note is that you talk about the wide receiver situation with the Patriots. That's why the rumor was going around just before the trading deadline earlier this week. They might actually go after Randy Moss, but I guess the chemistry thing was too much, right?
The Patriots never sign the bad boys, the guys that cause trouble. They always look for chemistry on the team, and they keep it that way.
And speaking of rolling, and that great 4-letter word that begins with an F, free, we've got 4 free picks going on right now at 1-888-294-1970, 2 today, 2 on Sunday, and of course 1 every day of the week. 1-888-294-1970.
All right, make that phone call for sure. When we come back, a look at the Redskins and Colts matchup, so stay tuned.
It's an underdog weekend, and today I'm making an offer you can't pass up. Call toll-free right now, 1-888-260-8339, and get one of my high-end personal service releases completely free on a recorded message. Plus, when you call, you'll also receive instructions on how to get today's College Dog of the Month and my Pro Underdog Game of the Year. That's 3 huge releases, including a Game of the Year release worth $50 on jimfeist.net, but available for free today. Call 1-888-260-8339.
The college football season may be half over, but my personal service selections haven't slowed down at all. I've won over 61% of my releases this year, including 2 more no-limit winners last Saturday, and today I'm releasing my college football game of the year. Hey, that's my biggest game of the season, available right now for just $19 at jimfeist.net or when you call 1-900-776-3030. Don't miss out on this guaranteed winner. It's my college game of the year. Make the call to 1-900-776-3030 or visit jimfeist.net.
63-31, 68-37, 51-24, and 45-7. Those were the winning scores of our biggest plays last weekend. Today I'm releasing my biggest play so far this season, my college pancake game of the year. We're 5-1, 83% with pancakes, and the biggest of them all goes today. Get the pancake of the year plus a code that gets my Pro Dog Pound game of the year free. Call 1-900-438-8385. Only $25. That's 1-900-438-8385, or go to jimfeist.net.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, the NFC meets the AFC as the Redskins take on the Colts, and we'll get to that game in just a second. But first, we turn to world champion handicapper Jim Feist. Now, he stubbed his toe a little bit last Saturday, but he bounced back big on Sunday with a big win on the Rams. And overall, he continues to have a very impressive season with personal service plays up well over 100 units. And Jim, today got a really big offer, and it's available free as well.
Well, I do, but I want to clarify something with Scott. Do you have syrup with those pancakes? Because maybe next week you can clarify that.
Sounds good.
This is the most confusing offer I've ever made on television in 30-some years. But this is serious. There's 3 big plays that I absolutely love, so it's important I get this out to you. If you go to jimfeist.net, for $50, you can get my high-end personal release, which is worth over $500, and you get my Dog of the Month and my Pro Underdog Game of the Year. That's $50 at jimfeist.net. Now, here's the confusing part. I will give you these plays for free when you go to 1-888-260-8339. When you go there, you're going to get 1 play on a recorded message and details on how you can get the other 2 plays. Make sure you go to the website, jimfeist.net, or make the call, 1-888-260-8339. Now, what's important about this is those 3 games are going to win. I love those games, and you will too.
All right, and guess what? I understand that completely. So and if I understand
I'm glad you do. I'll turn off the game at halftime.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So you know what? My credibility isn't that good on this. Okay, what can I say? Well, you know, the Washington Redskins might be the most enigmatic team in the NFL. They're hard to tell how they're going to play every week. It hasn't been too good lately, and they have to go into the Dome in Indianapolis now to take on the undefeated Colts, a good team, but they haven't been dominant in their games, really.
But you know what? They're 2-4, and this looks to me to be a spot. And I don't think this Redskins team is particularly good, to tell you the truth. But if they're going to show up, it's here. They're going to whatever they've got for ammunition, they're using in this game. And I think they're going to go in, and they've got a chance to win this game. The Colts are overrated anyway. I like Washington in the underdog role.
I think of games like this, and I think back to the preseason when Tony Dungy said he was a little disappointed because he wanted even more speed in his defensive front. Huh? This is the quickest defensive front line in pro football over the past several seasons since Tony Dungy's been there. They can't stop the run because their interior defense gets pushed around. This is one of those games where I think Washington just knocks them around between the tackles and gets the cover.
I don't know about that, but I like the under. I know it's at 49 or 50 right now, and you look at this game, both teams are going to be able to run the ball, and what we saw with Tennessee a couple of weeks ago was the ability to make Indianapolis run the ball. It kept it in a 14-13 game. I agree. I think the Colts are overrated here. I'm looking for a lot of running on this team. I like the game under the total.
Yeah, I'd like to ask, what happened to Dwight Freeney? I mean, he was like a sack leader, and he's totally disappeared. Their defense is weak against the run, and they don't run the ball very well. You know, let me give you some stats. The Skins, 14-6 under away in their last 20 away games, and the Colts, 9 out of their last 12 home games have gone under as well. Under is the play.
All right, so this week maybe the NFL hasn't passed Joe Gibbs by. All right, coming up is our Proline contest segment, our panel's biggest plays on the show. Don't go anywhere.
Get a jump on the weekend every Friday evening at ProlineSportsTV.net. Catch the first edition of this show over your PC or tune in to watch a segment you may have missed. It's all there on ProlineSportsTV.net. Plus, while you're there, tune into the Proline Sports Radio Show, also available over your PC or live on Sirius Radio on Friday night and rebroadcast on Saturday morning. Get all the details plus 2 great shows each week at ProlineSportsTV.net.
The college football season may be half over, but my personal service selections haven't slowed down at all. I've won over 61% of my releases this year, including 2 more no-limit winners last Saturday, and today I'm releasing my college football game of the year. Hey, that's my biggest game of the season, available right now for just $19 at JimFeist.net or when you call 1-900-776-3030. Don't miss out on this guaranteed winner. It's my college game of the year. Make the call to 1-900-776-3030 or visit JimFeist.net.
It's an underdog weekend, and today I'm making an offer you can't pass up. Call toll-free right now, 1-888-260-8339, and get one of my high-end personal service releases completely free on a recorded message. Plus, when you call, you'll also receive instructions on how to get today's College Dog of the Month and my Pro Underdog Game of the Year. That's 3 huge releases, including a Game of the Year release worth $50 on JimFeist.net, but available for free today. Call 1-888-260-8339.
Time now for our panel's big picks of the show, and a lot at stake because we're instituting something different on Proline. Whoever doesn't get it right, in the office they feed them to a lion. So nothing's at stake here. You know, America loves that. Bob, let's start with you.
Well, we're going to go with the Florida State game under the total. Hey, no one has been hotter in college football than I have over the course of the year. Week in, week out, delivering winners. Today, my college football game of the year, just $19. 1-900-776-3030. Hey, if you don't like winning, don't make the call.
All right, Dave Koken.
It's not such a risk because it's a Detroit Lion, and they don't have any teeth anyway, okay? So, these contest plays have been really strong for me. Missouri's in a tough spot here. They're going to beat Kansas State probably, but off that first loss, it's a flat spot for them. Kansas State plus the big number. I'm going 3-0 with a great offer today. 2 guaranteed outright underdog winners plus my college game of the month, all for $25, 1-900-656-1050, or just go to JimFeist.net, which is also where you'll get the other contest play free.
All right, Scott.
Well, my contest last week we swept again with Ohio State and Arkansas State. This week I'm going to go with the Oklahoma Sooners undervalued huge line move because of Peterson being out. The Sooners my contest play. Second contest play available right now at JimFeist.net. And don't forget, folks, it is my pancake game of the year. Maybe we'll give pancakes to the Lions and fill up their bellies. But anyway, pancake game of the year, college football, as we look to go to 6-1, 1-900-438-8385 or JimFeist.net.
All right, and Jim, what do you say?
Well, my best play on the set here is Boston College, Florida State under the total. Look for a defensive battle, especially with the injury to the Boston College quarterback. Look for a conservative game plan. Make sure you go to JimFeist.net, and for $50 you can get all 3 of my big plays, the personal service game, the College Dog of the Month, and the Pro Underdog Game of the Year. Or go to 1-888-260-8339, get one on a recorded message, and find out how you can get the other 2 as well.
Okay, great job by the panel, as is the case every week. We thank all of you for watching. Remember to catch us each Saturday morning at 7, 8, and 8:30 a.m. Eastern and Pacific right here on USA for another great show. And we'll see you next week.
Winning selections, stats, and scores can all be found daily at JimFeist.net.